Hey guys, what's going on? It's Paul Revelia here from ProPhysique.com. I'm going to do a video today, and the topic is going to be just been kind of discussing whatever I feel is like on my mind that day. And today I'm going in to train back. I'm doing like a pull day, so back, biceps, maybe some traps. And it got me thinking about the first time I did a bodybuilding show in 2008, and I dieted down and I got lean and I got on stage. And the nice thing about when you get really lean is you get to see all your muscles. The other thing that's not so nice is you get to see where you don't have muscles. When you got a little bit of body fat on you, you can kind of hide the fact that you are missing some body parts. And so immediately when I got off stage, looked at the pictures, pretty let down at the development of my back. You know, like, not that I had taken a ton of pride in it, but I had been training it for a few years. But I think that is a mark of a true bodybuilder. When you see somebody with a well-developed back, you know that they put in a lot of time and effort, because the back as a body part has a lot of muscle groups, has a lot of insertions, has a lot of details, and it's easy to train it improperly. I see a lot of people doing movements with a lot of momentum and doing rows where they're taking their back out of the movement and they're using their shoulders and biceps and pull downs and all these things. And so it really meant I had to take myself to task in learning how to do that stuff properly, and it certainly didn't happen overnight. But lo and behold, I feel like I have a pretty decent back now. So I'll post up some pictures of what my back looked like before, 2007, 2008, what they look like, what it looks like now. And this video is just going to be me doing some training stuff in the gym, and I'll do a little voiceover work, just kind of explaining what my thought process is with each lift. With that being said, I understand I don't have the greatest back in the world, but from where it's come, from where it started, I'm very happy with, you know, where it's at now. I'm also very excited that it's going to continue to get better. So with that said, hopefully you enjoy it. If not, tough luck. Anyways guys, hope you guys are having an awesome day. Let's go get this day started.
Show, give it to you. What? Fuck, wait for you to get it on your own. That show deliver to you. Knock, knock, open up the door, it's real. With the non-stop pop-out stainless steel.
No makeup.
Yeah, I know. Thanks for noticing, Paul.
Jesus. She still looks fabulous.
Leave it to Paul.
There. Self-esteem restored.
When you see those shoes with this outfit, it's good mornings.
It's good morning. Yeah.
I know, you really need some new fucking shoes.
I
Okay.
just gave her such a nice compliment.
I know, but come on. Paul, doesn't he need
What's
new
wrong with
shoes?
these shoes though?
What?
Alright guys, it's time to discuss some back training. Lane and Lauren, you need to be quiet. This is Lat Pull-Downs. This is where I like to focus on bracing my core and contracting the weight with my lats, not leaning back and putting the emphasis on my rear delts. I actually went a little wider on the next set, but you see I'm not rowing the weight. Now this is what I do in between sets of lat pull-downs because I get bored, so I go ahead and throw in some dumbbell shrugs. Now if you look, I'm leaning slightly forward and I'm trying to squeeze my trap right behind my neck. That's what I like to do when I focus on the traps, the squeeze right behind my neck. This is a cool machine. Not everybody has this, but there is other variations of this machine in most gyms, sometimes hammer strength. This is a low row. What I like about this is it takes the emphasis off my back. Excuse me. And it really allows me to focus on pulling the weight with my lats and not using momentum. Kind of like what a seal row does. Those are kind of popular now. This just allows me to do it with my long arms without setting up some freaky contraption in the gym. And you see from this angle, if you watch my wrist and elbow, they stay in a straight line. So I'm keeping as much emphasis on possible on my back. I'm not putting the emphasis on my bicep or my shoulder. So I love this machine. I think I was doing sets of 12 on this day. So after I do dumbbell shrugs, I like to add in a little bit of a Smith machine shrug. The reason I like the Smith machine allows me to focus less on stabilizing the weight. I just focus on squeezing up. Again, I lean down just a little bit to squeeze the trap. And here it is from a different angle. So you'll notice the trap is doing all the work. I don't like to use momentum with the arms, get anything out of it. I don't do a ton of trap work because I do a lot of rowing and stuff. I just find the top of my traps benefit from some shrug work. This is another favorite of mine, probably my favorite back exercise. I noticed my lats grew immediately when I started doing this properly. I'm going to show you two angles. So much like the lat pull down, I'm bracing at the core, I'm pulling from the elbows, and I'm using my back to bring the weight down. I'm not leaning backwards and using shoulders and biceps. Watch the wrist and elbow go straight to the floor. This keeps the emphasis on the back, and you can actually see my lat stretching a little bit in here and contracting. My lat thickness went up immensely when I started doing these properly. This is a finisher I like to do. I don't know if it's just because of my leverages, but I can do a lot of weight on this. And so this pullover that I do here, I try to keep the tension on my lats the entire time and squeeze it all the way to the bottom. I usually finish with like 2 or 3 sets of 20 to 30 on these, just because the machines usually don't allow me to go very heavy on it. But as you can see, I get a really good contraction. Some machines have a good machine pullover, some gyms, and I'll do that too. So with it being back day, I make it a bit of a pull workout, and since I've already gotten a little bit of a bicep training going from all the rowing, as much as you try to remove it, it's still going to be a little bit involved, right? So I go ahead and train them. I try to take the momentum out and make this all about function and form. So I like these. Some people call them spider curls, preacher curls, whatever. I really love to keep the focus on the bicep. I don't really go too heavy on these. I think on this day I went up to 35s for 8s or 10. So, you know, nothing too crazy, but I really feel it completely in my bicep. And it's a great exercise to do right after back to just really ensure you're just hitting the bicep completely. Here it is from a different angle. What I'm doing here is I'm actually watching in the mirror. If you watch where my hand goes, it goes straight to the top of my shoulder. And the nice thing about this is when you're on this machine, when you come all the way to the top, there is still tension on the bicep. If you're doing a standing dumbbell curl, when the weight gets to the top, you know that there's no more tension on the bicep. This is nice because it's constant, so I feel like it really allows me to train the bicep all the way through. I still like to do bicep curls standing. Actually, on this day, I ended up doing hammer curls, but I didn't film it. So, just one of my favorite exercises for biceps that really allows you to focus on that particular muscle. And then here is a blast from the past. I found this in the gym. It's called the arm blaster. Yes, it makes you look ridiculously big, much bigger than you are. But what it really does is it kind of puts your elbows into a position much like the preacher curl. So I thought I would just mess around with it and have some fun with it on this day. But I probably wasn't using it absolutely right here. But it was just something I was doing for fun. Instead of just doing standing barbell curls, I figured I'd try the arm blaster. Anyway, guys, have a great day.